My name is Brother Christopher McNabb. I work in North Belmore, Long Island, and I am a 2019 Episcopal Church Foundation Ministry Fellow. So my Episcopal Church Foundation Ministry Fellowship is based in the desire to come alongside first responders, police, firefighter, EMS, dispatchers, and also to come alongside immigrants who feel under attack in our current world, and to find common ground when individuals feel respected and heard and valued, that their fears and their need to be defensive can sort of fall down, and we can start having authentic conversation about our shared humanity. I think so often first responders are afraid of sharing their deep, dark fears, and if we can provide them a space and an opportunity to share their concerns, to share their fears, simultaneously work with immigrants in immigration detention centers, with rapid response networks, accompanying them to immigration court, etc. And through my ministry and through preaching and through storytelling, start helping folks realize that what we all want as human beings is the same. And I want the church to start entering into those conversations. I'm trying to address this notion of why we think we can throw people away. And I think we have thrown first responders under the bus in a number of ways. And a lot of that is because certain police officers have done some really awful stuff. But that doesn't mean that every cop is bad. And I think similarly, we start throwing immigrants away because we think that they are expendable or disposable often, that they're just here to do a certain job. And because of the color of their skin or where they're from or the language they speak, that they don't matter. I think the solution is getting people in the same room and helping us connect over our shared humanity. Before this, I served in a very wealthy church, and that had a wealth of resources, and that was a wonderful opportunity. I grew a lot as a priest, but the whole time I was always wondering, well, what about the poor? And what about the working class folks? So often first responders are working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And then when they're met with a lot of critique from social media, with situations that are taken out of context, it just adds to the walls they put up. Of course, immigrants are so often dealing with any number of challenges and frustrations and stresses, and they're trying to learn a new language and new systems. I think we need to start coming alongside the poor and the outcast and the easily disposable and let them know that God loves them. Receiving the ECF fellowship opens doors of possibilities that I never dreamed possible prior to the funding. A huge organization within the Episcopal Church sees what I'm doing as important, and that matters. And money is what makes the world go round in a lot of ways, and the electric company does not care if I work for Jesus. We've got to pay the bills. But I think what this does is it helps me dream bigger. So one of the things we find is that police officers do not want to go to a traditional therapist because they are afraid that if they are deemed crazy, that their badge and their gun will be taken away. And similarly for firefighters, for EMS workers. Vulnerability is weakness in the eyes of many, many first responders. But if we could create a counseling center, for example, where counselors are trained to know the intricate details of what a first responder experiences and can then access therapy that is specific to them but based in a church, we would be able to work with him or her to help understand what's going on, what are the frustrations, the struggles. What can we as a church do? But the ability to create that kind of program is now possible because of this funding. And so while this is a drop in the bucket of what we would need eventually, it's an opening of a door that I think can lead to incredible opportunities. If we are willing to gain proximity to the poor and to the suffering, to the immigrants, to first responders who have seen way more than one human heart can stand, if we can gain proximity to them, I think our own hearts can be broken. And we recognize that what breaks their heart and what breaks our heart is what breaks God's heart. We can come together in Christian community, in prayer, and find solutions and find healing. I think that is worth something, and that's worth pursuing. The mechanisms and the ways to do that are going to be challenging, but I do hope that this ECF fellowship is a huge step towards that and is an opening up of doors that simply were closed before.